Okay, Katie, this is for you. I know you work on those newer vehicles with the fuel pump in the tank and all that, but I also know you like to play with those Chevrolet 350s, so I'm going to show you something. This is a fuel pump manual. Something has to actuate this. It doesn't reach the camshaft. When it bolts on there, it's bolted this way. There's no way this rod can reach the camshaft, that lever, I mean. When you pull your old fuel pump off, so I can turn the light on. So there's a rod in there. It goes up and down. When you pull the old fuel pump off, that's going to fall all the way down. Take your fingers and push it up to hold it in place. On the front of the engine will be a bolt that lines up with that. On this particular dump truck, it's in a motor mount. Take the short bolt out. Take the short bolt out. Get you a nice long bolt. And slip it through that hole. And thread it through that hole. So it goes all the way up in there. It catches that round rod. You don't have to get it real tight. You don't want to scar the rod. When you feel it bump the rod, loosen it up a little bit. I'm going to try to lay my phone down here. And then push that rod far up as you can till it bottoms out against the camshaft. And then barely, just enough to keep the rod, from falling. Tighten. Make sure your rod's all the way up. And tighten the rod. Tighten the bolt against the rod. Not too tight, you don't want to scar the rod. And every once in a while you just let off the rod and make sure that the bolt is holding it. It's holding it all the way up in that fuel pump hole up against the camshaft. Till you can wiggle your screwdriver. And the rod doesn't drop down anymore. You see the rod is all the way up in the hole now. Not only does it give you room to put your pump in there, it gives you room to push a rag or something up in this hole so that when you clean this gasket off, it doesn't fall in the engine. Then when you're done cleaning the gasket, ease your rag out, making sure to pull all the old gasket debris with it. Put the fuel pump on and take this bolt back out and replace it with the original motor mount bolt. Sometimes it won't be a motor mount bolt, it's just a motor mount bolt on this one because it's a front motor mount. This plate here, you don't have to take off. There's no need to take it off. You leave that plate on. You just take the fuel pump out, push the rod up. You see the edge of the rod, just push the rod up, snug that bolt up to hold the rod up, Put a rag in there, clean this off, pull the rag and all your debris out, put your fuel pump on with your new gasket, get it tightened up, pull this rod out, pull this bolt out, and put the short bolt back in. Just a little tip for you.